Many show a special interest to have sea baths engrossed in nature's beauty. But if such a place has high risks of losing one's life, then one should take special interest to be cautious. This is a life lesson that was taught by two siblings who drowned in the seas of Pritipura, Wattala.
7 family members, including Krishni Samanali, a resident of Balagalawatta, Wattala, arrived at this location to celebrate the 23rd birthday of her elder sister. The group, who were having a sea bath, were carried further away owing to a rough tide. 5 persons survived the ordeal, while 2 lives were lost. She was going further away from the shore. The brother was waving his hand when he passed the stone barrier. When I got back to land, I shouted that both the sister and the brother were being taken further away from the shore. The police said that police teams are being dispatched in search of the 2 missing individuals with the assistance of the Navy personnel.
බැලු බැල්මට මෙම ස්ථානයේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් වතුර රැඳෙන්නේ කෙනෙකුගේ දනිස් මට්ටමට.
You may notice that the water here only rises to above knee level. However, the dangerous nature of this is that about 2 feet away from this location, there is a huge ditch. The ditch has a depth of around 8 feet. If you consider how the people who bathe at sea are carried out into the ditch, it is believed that the strong tide at this location can drag people into this ditch.
ඉක්මනින්ම මේ ස්ථානයට කරා ඇදගෙන යාමේ හැකියාවක් ඒ රළ පහරට තිබෙනවා. ඒ නිසා තමයි මේ දෙදෙනා දිය පහරකට හසු වීමෙන් ගසාගෙන ගොස් තිබෙන්නේ.
2 members of the same family, 12-year-old Rashmika Navin and 20-year-old Krishni Samanali, disappeared. Her relatives said that she was also expecting a child. Meanwhile, the body of 12-year-old Rashmika was found washed ashore around noon. People come and bathe here because it's beautiful, but they don't know that there is a deep spot and they fall into it quite unexpectedly. 4 or 5 people have drowned here before. It is not safe to bathe here at the Handala beach. It is not safe for anyone. The waves are too strong here.
The Australian media reports that diplomats preparing for the UN Human Rights Council session in Geneva next month have expressed concern that Australia is working to actively undermine a push for an international inquiry into alleged human rights violations in Sri Lanka because of the Sri Lankan government's eagerness to cooperate with Australia on the matter of asylum seekers.
In November, on the sidelines of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott announced that the government would give Sri Lanka 2 Bay-class patrol boats at a cost of $2 million Australian dollars to help Sri Lanka stem the flow of asylum seekers to Australia. Today, the Sydney Morning Herald, quoting well-placed sources involved in the preparations for the UN Human Rights Council session in Geneva, said there is deep concern among the United States and British officials on Australia's position. Meanwhile, Australia's ABC News reports that human rights and asylum seeker advocates are condemning a decision to employ a former Sri Lankan military officer as the acting manager of the Manus Island detention camp. ABC News reports that the former officer Dinesh Pereira has been running the Manus Island facility for the G4S security company. ABC News quoted the Director of Advocacy and Research at the Human Rights Law Centre in Australia, Emily Howie, as saying that the officer should be removed. ABC News reported that in a brief telephone conversation with the ABC, Pereira had confirmed that he was currently running the Manus Island facility and that he had previously served as an officer of the Sri Lankan military. However, he had refused to comment further.
The election stage is heating up with the Western and Southern Provincial Council polls just around the corner. Let's take a look at some of the views expressed on the election stage.
You must elect people who are suitable for the provincial council. It is not just about electing suitable people. I must state that the government is only strengthened when the actions of these persons are correct. That was the situation back then. What has happened now?
Twenty 25 people are contesting the election. The henchmen of various ministers are contesting. My henchman is my son. So who is the father to vote for if not the son? Look at Ratnasiri Vikramanayaka, our former leader here. When Ratnasiri was here, he gave it to the son. Now the father and the son are both in parliament. Our president who bought his son, normal. So what is wrong in putting my son in?
හොඳ මිනිස්සු තෝරගන්න.
Elect good people, not thieves. Do not elect thieves. We must not elect people who take money to enroll children at schools. We must elect people who help our schools.
අපේ ඉස්කෝලවලට උදව් කරන අය. ජනතාවට බොරු කරපු තමන්ගේ මඩිය තර කරගත්තු
I cannot ask you to vote for persons who lie to the people. Neither will I ask you to. I have not put anyone forward. I said that I don't know anyone because there is no one like me.
මම කිසි කෙනෙකුට දාන්න හේතුව මම වගේ එකෙක් නෑ.
බොරුවට සටන්කාමී
They can present false footage of battles to the people, but the people do not want these false dramas, movies and reenactments of battles. Tell the people the truth.
සටන් ජවනිකා ජනතාවට එපා. ජනතාවට ඇත්ත කියන්න.
In the past, they used to beat us. We took the blows and tried to win. The more they beat us, the more we tried to win. And we won. What has happened today? When we beat them, they cannot hit back. Neither do they look for someone who can beat us.
We have opened the government's bag and seen what is inside. We have also opened the UNP's bag and seen what is inside. You do not need to look inside the bag that has already been opened. We reiterate that the people of this country have already seen what the United National Party and the Alliance are. There is nothing left for you to see. Turn your attention to the Janata Vimukti Peramuna.
The Southern Provincial candidate of the United People's Freedom Alliance, Chandima Rasaputra, attended a political meeting in the Kanan K area in Matharat yesterday.
All of you know what Chandima Rasaputra can do. No one must choose just a name. No one must choose just anyone. Everyone has so far brought victory to a candidate. But what you must lead to victory is not a candidate. Bring victory to your expectations and your hopes and your aims. Why have you stopped that?
Parliamentarian Sajith Premadasa expressed the following views at public meetings held in the areas of Beliata, Miriswata and Kudahila today.
රටට හිතවත් අඩු මුදලට විදුලි බලය ලබා ගන්න යුගදනවි බලාගාරය මුළු රටටම අලෙවි කරේ.
The Yugadanavi power plant, which was constructed to provide electricity at a low cost, was sold to the entire country as a miracle. What happened? It has been proven that they use substandard low sulfur content fuel for the power plant. What is the government doing now that they found out that the low sulfur content fuel was cheap? They have taken large loans on interest and are now running the Kerawalapitia power plant with diesel. The powerful men who control the country living in Colombo fill their pockets with the commission they earn from the diesel that is sold. When they add the losses incurred due to the commission they have earned on your electricity bill, you all will have to be the ones paying for them.
අනේ ඔබ සියලු දිනාටම සිද්ධ වෙනවා හැම මාස් පතාම විදුලි බිල පියවන්න.
A Democratic Party campaign rally was held in Narayanpeta yesterday.
A group including Colombo district candidates of the Democratic Party led by Sarath Fonseca attended this rally. This party is 4 months old. Recently, we saw how the number of seats of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party or the United People's Freedom Alliance reduced. We saw recently how the Janata Vimukti Peramuna was rejected by the people. My friends, they gave us 5 seats and over 92,000 votes. We did not get these votes by giving away bottles of arak, lunch packets and mobile phones. We got these votes by going from village to village, from door to door and listening to the woes of the people. The price of a milk packet has increased by 152 rupees. After elections, they will increase it to 250 rupees. They have already destroyed your livelihoods. If you have 100 rupees in your pocket, 70 rupees are for taxes. They charge taxes, they steal and they waste. When we come among the people, we can understand the message on their faces. We can see the fear to speak, the fear to express themselves. In a country where you can be a victim of state terror if you speak out, you could lose your job. Your business could collapse. In such a country, the silent message of the people is that 95% of the people are living with dashed hopes.
UMP Colombo district candidate for the upcoming Western Provincial Council poll, SM Marika, says that the people of Central Colombo have been subject to various injustices under the present government. He made this statement at a meeting held in Maligawatha yesterday.
UMP Colombo district candidate SM Marika's campaign office in Maligawatha was declared open yesterday. The district that has been especially subject to injustice under this government is the Colombo district. The electorate that has been subject to the most injustice is Central Colombo. The government looks at this electorate as comprising of Ranasinghe Premadas's people and UMPers. They think that it is pointless to work for these people. Therefore, all the jobs that should have been given to the youth of the Central Colombo were taken to Hambantota. The homes that should have been given to the Central Colombo were taken to Hambantota.
I have seen the slogan that SM Marika uses in his election campaign, one of us. My friends, in truth, SM Marika is one of us. When he announced that he would be contesting the election, there were numerous obstacles. But we can say with pride today that he has overcome all these obstacles. Therefore, I too wish to make a request of all of you to give your support to SM Marika by making him victorious and by placing him on top of the list.
Today's U report is filed by our Newsfirst U reporter Chandana Uduwalla from Hanguranketa.
A three-wheeler toppled when it struck on the wall as it attempted to turn into the main road from a residence last evening in the Galode area in Hanguranketa. The driver of the three-wheeler sustained minor injuries. The three-wheeler was also damaged.
A ceremony entitled Music Raising Hope was held at the premises of the Embassy of the Republic of South Korea under the auspices of Ambassador Arjuna Jongmoon Choi today. The event was held to distribute 55 digital pianos to various schools and children's homes from 12 different districts. Speaking at the occasion, Ambassador Choi said that the aim of this event was to promote the importance of music education for children. The ceremony was concluded with a performance by the students of the Vidya Chakravarti School in Putlam.
First up on Sports First tonight, a protest was held opposite the Sri Lanka Badminton Federation today. The protest was held against the chairman of the Badminton Federation, Suraj Tandenia.
The protest was staged this morning requesting that justice be meted out to athlete Ilmi Barangana for having missed the opportunity to participate in the Asian Junior Badminton Championship that was held in Taipei, China. The protesters charged that Suraj Tandenia should be removed from his post as chairman.
Persons such as him do not deserve to be in that post. This is not the only incident. There are dozens more. Whenever there is a tournament, there are several cases in the papers. They leave the best children out and the other children get the opportunity. The team that left are amateurs.
When we inquired with regards to this matter from the chairman of the federation, Suraj Tandenia, he stated that the protest against him was staged by misleading the parents. He said that the decision was made collectively as a committee and not a lone decision.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of your Primetime News Bulletin. Thanks a lot for joining us. I'm Shane Silva.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.